My name is Kazakiel ben Yisrael, and I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves.
I am Elder Shannaniah ben Israel.
Shalom, I am Elder Aharon ben Israel.
Thank you. And tonight's topic, we're dealing with idolatry, blessings and love. Is that correct, Elder?
That's correct.
Okay. So we're trying to identify what a lot of the customs, traditions, and things of that nature regarding idolatry, and trying to stay within a certain spectrum so that you can get some information on how you can avoid idolatry, because it is a thing that can creep into your character as well as being thrown at you. Some of the things that we do, some of the things that we indulge in on a daily basis is direct idolatry. I mean, you see television programs, they're coming out, the American Idol, you know, dealing with young entertainers that's coming into the entertainment field. But we use the word idol so casually, but you don't understand idolatry is an abomination.
Absolutely.
So please answer me, why would you idolize a sports star? Why would you idolize somebody in the music industry? What is this thing about idolatry? And you have to use this word, idol, that's referring to idolatry. I mean, the Father states clearly, he's the one that gets full attention. But you got to understand where you stand in time and in space. We are in a place that idolatry is pushed, that is you know, it's a thing of, it's required, so almost so to speak. So you must understand that this is not a casual thing. Idolatry is sin. No two ways about it. So you won't, when you hear the word idol, or you see people co-signing and saying, well, that's all right, the show, this is the name American Idol, okay, fine. Then you got to understand, if it's this that casual, why is it being used? You understand what I'm saying? Because it's all about brainwashing, but that's another show. We're not going to go there. But I'm going to let Elder Haron start off.
Again, Kazakiel, you hit the mark. Most people don't understand idols.
That's right.
What an idol is, or what influence it has upon you. But the word idol in Hebrew is the word teraphim. I'm sure you've heard that word before, teraphim. And its definition, the number in Strong's Concordance is 8655. And it says, a healer, teraphim. It says, a family idol. An image. And that brings to mind one thing. Let's turn to Exodus, the 20th chapter.
Exodus the 20th. All right.
And we're going to start off with verse 4. People, the topic or the beginning of this, it says the Ten Commandments. But I'm going to start off at verse 1. It says, and Elohim spoke all these words, saying, see, people got the misconception that this is Moshe's law. But again, let's read what it says. It says, and Elohim spoke all these words, letting you know that it was the Father speaking these words. So it's not Moshe's law, it's the Father's law. And make no mistake about that. Let's go to verse 4. It says, you shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters underneath the earth. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh your El, am a jealous El, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children, to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing mercy to thousands, to those who love me and keep my commandments. That's very important. So now we understand it says teraphim, image. It says here what? A carved image. But I'm going to go further and say that an image or an idol is also an idea.
Okay.
Yes.
Something that you worship
That's right.
or hold on to more than the Father. And the Father said, don't bow down, don't do this.
Right, that's what I'm saying, Elder. They use the word idol casually.
Right.
That's not a light word.
No, this is his fourth
That's not a light
commandment.
word. That's right.
Huh?
That's right.
He said, don't do this. He said, why? Because he's jealous.
That's right, Elder.
He said he visited the iniquities of the fathers upon the sons. Aren't we here in America?
Yes.
Because of the iniquity of our fathers.
That's right.
Turn to Leviticus, the 26th chapter.
Leviticus. Which one is that, Leviticus?
26. We're going to start at verse 1.
Okay.
Because I'm finding people have not read this. Wayikra is the correct pronunciation of what they call Leviticus.
That's right.
It's called Wayikra. It says, you shall not make idols for yourselves. Again, Kazakiel, you hit it right on the head.
That's right.
We're making idols for ourselves.
That's right. That's right.
It says, you shall not make idols for yourselves or set up for yourselves carved images or pillars or place figures, stones in your land to worship upon. For I, Yahweh, am your El. You shall keep my Sabbaths and venerate my sanctuary. Mine, the Yahweh's. The Father's jealous.
Absolutely.
You don't think he's jealous? Aren't you jealous?
Huh? Absolutely.
That's
right.
And he said, have nothing, really, it said before him, but he meant after him.
That's right.
That's right. That's what it says in the original text.
Right. Have nothing after him
That's right.
that you worship or bow down to.
That's right.
Because you belong to him. But you don't know that. Let's go down to verse 30.
Okay.
It says, I will destroy your cult places
That's right.
and cut down your incense stands, and I will heap your carcasses upon your lifeless fetish. He called it a fetish. See, I'm reading out of the Tanakh in case you don't understand some of the language that's being put forth here. This is the Tanakh, or what people call the Old Testament.
That's right.
Or Scripture. Because you must understand, this was what they had. This is the Scripture.
Absolutely.
But
That's it.
let's do something else. Let's go in their book, because they don't believe that idolatry is talked about in what they call their book, the New Testament. And then we're going to go back.
Look at that.
Let's go to Acts, the 15th chapter.
All right.
That's 1:5.
See, idolatry is a dangerous thing.
Yes, it is.
Very much so.
And they will slide it right up under your nose
Yeah.
and have you participating and thinking it's a light thing.
Yeah, that it means nothing.
Right.
When that's why you're here. That's the basis of
That's right.
why
That's right.
you, as an Israelite, are here in America. But you didn't know that, though,
That's right.
because your pastor didn't tell you. He neglected to tell you that part. Or do he know?
That's a good one.
But you should take note to yourself. Acts 15 and verse 20.
Okay.
And they brought them to the magistrate. This is Shaul and Silas when they imprisoned them. And they brought them to the magistrate and said, these men being Israelites, they got in your Bible, they had the word Jew, but we know that that's improper because everybody was not a Jew.
Right.
They were the children of Israel.
So you had where now?
I'm in Acts 15:20.
Okay. Acts 15 and 20.
These men being Israelites exceedingly trouble our city, and they teach customs which are not lawful for us, being Romans, to receive or to observe. Then multitudes rose. Wait a minute.
That's right.
You know what? Pardon me, I'm in the wrong book. I'm in the wrong place. I just saw that.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Is it Acts 15 and 20?
Yes,
Okay.
that's where I wanted to
All
go.
right.
That's what we
No,
got
let's
right
start at 18.
Okay.
here. Up 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
Know to Elohim from eternity all his works. Therefore I judge that we should not trouble those from among the Gentiles who are turned to Elohim. This is Paul talking. This is Shaul talking. But that we write to them, or the Sanhedrin was talking, because it says that we write to them to abstain from things polluted by idols. Now, polluted means that an idol is out of order. If something pollutes something else, that means that it's not lawful. Huh? Polluted by idols, from sexual immorality, from things strangled, and from blood. For Moshe has had throughout many generations those who preached him in every city, being read in the synagogues every Sabbath. Now, it's talking about what we read in the beginning, about carved images.
And this is James talking, though. James
Yeah. About the Gentiles.
Okay.
Because they were being taught. Now remember, they were being brought in.
Right.
They knew nothing about Yah.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
They were idolaters.
They were.
Romans were idolaters.
Absolutely.
You don't think they were idolaters?
Absolutely.
Look at today. The Romans of today are idolaters.
That's right.
When you step in one of their churches, what do you see? A big idol. But not only them, all those who walk around with a carved image hung on their neck.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean no disrespect, because you might not know that you are an idolater, because you think that it's something good.
Absolutely. Think that all the time.
But what does it say in Exodus 20, verse 4? No carved image.
That's right.
So if you bowing down to an image, that makes you an idolater. But let us not digress. Let's go backwards again. Because there are things that we gotta define.
Okay.
I've been saying that we're here because of idolatry. And most people don't believe that. But the Father gave us a mandate when he took us into the land. And he told us not to do something. And we've done exactly
What he said not to do.
what he told us
Not to do.
not to do.
Absolutely.
But before we go there, let's turn to Deuteronomy, the 9th chapter.
Deuteronomy 9.
Right.
Okay.
And the title of this section here, it says, Israel's Rebellion.
Israel rebellion.
Yes. Listen to this.
Where you at now? Deuteronomy 9.
9,
one.
right, verse 1.
Okay.
It says, Hear, O Israel, you are crossing over the Jordan today, and go in to dispossess nations greater and mightier than yourselves, cities great and fortified up to Hashemayim, heaven, a people great and tall, the descendants of Anak, whom you know and of whom you've heard it is said, who can stand before the descendants of Anak? Therefore understand today that Yahweh your El is he who goes over before you as a consuming fire. He will destroy them and bring them down before you. So you shall drive them out and destroy them quickly, as Yahweh has said to you. Listen to this. He says, do not think in your heart after Yahweh your El has cast them out before you, saying, because of my righteousness. Stop. We got this idea that we are righteous.
Oh, yeah. All
And
the
that,
time.
yeah, that we right on point. But what did the Father say? These are our ancestors. Make no mistake about this. These are our ancestors that he's talking to. He said, because of my righteousness, Yahweh has brought me in to possess this land. But it is because of the wickedness of the nations that Yahweh is driving them out from before you. It is not because of your righteousness or the uprightness of your heart that you go in to possess this land. Because of the wickedness of these nations that Yahweh your El drives them out from before you. And he may fulfill the words which Yahweh swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov, Jacob. Therefore understand that Yahweh your El is not giving you this good land to possess because of your righteousness, for you are a stiff-necked people. Do you understand that? And your necks are stiff. Because when people come to you with the truth, you reject it.
That's right.
Because you're an idolater. Huh?
Yep.
Listen, it says, remember, do not forget how you provoked Yahweh to wrath in the wilderness. Oh, what did you do in the wilderness?
A whole lot.
Let's go back and look at what you did in the wilderness. Because before the Father could give you the word good, what happened?
Messing up.
Let me see if I can find it right quick. I wasn't even going there. 34.
In Exodus.
No, what I want to do is not that. No, claim the guilt. Okay, 34. Because now Moshe is getting the new tablets. Because the old tablets he had to destroy because of your idolatry. But matter of fact, we can even go back and read that. Because I think you need to understand why Moshe had to get some new tablets for you. Because
Could have done something that had
Yeah.
to do with what we were doing.
32, yeah. Let's go to 32. I was gonna skip that, but I think we need to go there. Exodus 32, starting at verse 1. Now Moshe had went up to get the law, right? All right, now listen to what this says. It says, now when the people saw that Moshe delayed coming down from the mountain, the people gathered together to Aharon and said to him, come, make us gods that shall go before us. For as for this Moshe, the man whom brought us up out of the land of Mizraim, we do not know what has become of him. Now, we read back in Exodus 20 where the Father spoke his word to us. And he said, make no carved images.
Right.
Now, what did they just tell Aaron to do? In case you don't know who Aaron was, Aaron was second in command to Moses.
That's right.
He was really the spokesman. He was the one who did the speaking.
He was. He was.
So when Moses went up on the mountain to get the law, the tablets, he left Aaron in charge.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So now Aaron was supposed to be what? The leader. And they came to Aaron and told him, make us golden calves to go before us, make us gods.
Absolutely.
That's idolatry.
That's right. That's exactly what it is.
We them same stiff-necked individuals that we just got through reading about. Because when they answered all that Yah say we will do and obey, they answered for us too. Don't think that they just answered for themselves.
Absolutely.
That's why you're here.
That's right.
That's it, though.
Huh? What did Deuteronomy, when we had a previous show and we read in Deuteronomy 28 that the Father say he would scatter us?
That's right.
This is why he scattered us, because we're idolaters. We do not follow the Father's law, and today we're falling into the same trap.
That's right. The same trap. Full blown.
That's right.
Huh?
I might add to Elder, if you ever hear the term, if you ever hear the term apis, that's talking about this golden calf.
Right.
The elder was talking about.
Yes.
That was his name.
Yes.
And straight up idolatry, Elder.
Yes. But let's continue to read. And Aaron said to them, break off the golden earrings which are in your ears, or your wives, your sons, and your daughters, and bring them to me. So all the people broke off the golden earrings which were in their ears and brought them to Aaron. And he received the gold from their hands, and he fashioned it with an engraved tool and made a molded calf. Now, that's in direct violation of what Exodus, the 4th verse says.
Absolutely.
And Aaron was the leader.
Absolutely. I was just about to say that too, Elder. He was the one that was advocating this stuff.
He was the one who made it.
Pushing it. Pushing it. Yep.
Then they said, this is your God, O Israel, that brought you out of the land of Mizraim. So Aaron saw it. He built an altar before it. And Aaron made a proclamation and said, tomorrow is a feast to Yahweh. Do you understand? He blasphemed the Father. And for a long time, I could not understand why the Father didn't kill him outright.
Probably claimed close to doing that.
No. I mean, because we're going to read something here that's really out the back door. Listen, it says, then they rose early on the next day, offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. The word should be party, because that's what they was having, a party. It was an orgy.
Orgy, yes, it was.
That's exactly what this was.
In the Hebrew, the elder too, it says sexual immorality.
Right.
So play is sexual immorality.
Right.
That's what that was.
Yes. And then it says, and Yahweh said to Moshe, go, he said, go get down, for your people whom you brought out of the land of Mizraim had corrupted themselves. Huh? They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. Now, remember now, the Father said, hear, O Israel.
Shema.
Right. He spoke to them these words. They have made themselves a molded calf and worshipped it, and sacrificed to it, and said, this is your God, O Israel, that brought you out of the land of Mizraim. And Yahweh said to Moshe, I have seen this people, and indeed it is stiff-necked people. Now therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may burn hot against them, and I may consume them, and I will make of you a great nation. Do you understand? The Father wanted to kill all us.
That's heavy.
See, this is to let you know that idolatry is the thing that the Father hates more than anything else. You don't believe it? Keep holding on to them crosses. Huh?
That's absolutely true, you know, Elder. And looking back, what we just had went over, when James was speaking in the book of Acts, and he named those simple 4 things that they had decided that the Gentiles were to follow. One of them was to refrain from things that were being sacrificed to idols.
Right.
So, you know, no matter where we go, we look at that, we look at, man, that's a heavy deal there. Because, you know, I mean, just 4 things?
Yeah.
Well, one of them has something to do with idols.
Idols, that's right.
So, you know, there was a reason why James made that statement. Because he knew, the Father was very heavy and very concerned about idols. And giving idols. Because idols really, Elder, I believe, goes into to the realm of whoredom.
Yeah.
Because Israel is Yah's wife.
Yes.
And when Israel went into idolatry,
Yes.
Israel was being an adulterer,
Yes.
or an adulteress.
Yes.
And Israel was being, again, going into whoredom and giving herself to someone else.
That's right.
And that's no joke. That's no play. But yet in all that,
Adultery.
exactly, but in all that, the Father still never divorced us.
No. No, he don't believe in divorce.
Absolutely.
The Father does not believe in divorce.
Absolutely.
But let's read a little bit more of this.
Okay.
It says, then Moshe pleaded with Yahweh, his El.
We've got a liaison here now.
Right. Now. Now we got a mediator.
Right. Right.
Somebody to stand in the gap.
Right. Exactly.
Because the Father told him, say, hey, you stand aside.
Exactly.
I'm going to kill them all, and I'm going to raise you. I'm going to make a great nation out of you.
And looking at this too, Elder, when we look at that, the speaker is one of the people in the hot spot.
Right.
On the hot seat.
That's what I'm saying.
Moshe wasn't the speaker.
No. Moshe was he was supposed to stand, he was supposed to get and he speaking to everybody else, the man that's supposed to be passing out the word.
Right.
Hey, and he's the leader. He's on the outside getting ready to get chopped off with everybody else.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Yeah, you getting ready to get chopped off.
Yeah. Burnt up. So now it says, Yahweh, why does your wrath burn hot against your people whom you brought with a mighty hand? Now remember before this, a couple of verses back, Yah told Moshe, the people whom you brought out of the land of Mizraim.
That's true.
Notice how Moshe turned the tables and began to speak for you, to plead for you. He said, no, these the people you brought out of the land of Mizraim with a mighty hand. Listen, you got to understand the scenario here and what was happening here. Now, these people have blasphemed the Father.
Yeah, that's true.
Totally.
That's true.
They done went off on the deep end. They done made the calf, they buck dancing, and they having a great old time. They done forgot about who brought them out.
That's right. How quickly? Y'all say quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly. Oh.
It says, why does your wrath burn hot against your people whom you brought out of the land of Israel, Mizraim, with great power and with a mighty hand? Why should the Egyptians speak and say, he brought them out to harm them, to kill them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? But at the same time, the Father said it wasn't for your righteousness that he brought you out.
Absolutely not.
Huh? It was for the wickedness of the other people that he was sending you into this land.
Right.
But he was giving you laws and statutes and judgments to live by so that you could be the example to the rest of them. And then you turn around and you say, Aaron, make us a golden calf.
How quickly?
Hey, and then he turned around and say, yeah, give me the gold out your earring and let me make it for you.
No.
Hey, and I've often wondered why the Father, like I say, why the Father didn't just burn him up immediately. He says, turn from your fierce wrath and relent from this harm to your people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, your servants, to whom you swore by your own self, and said to them, I will multiply your descendants as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of I will give to your descendants, and they shall inherit it forever. So Yahweh relented from the harm which he said he would do to his people. Now, That's a powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
But now you still got somebody even more powerful to stand in the gap for you.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know him. You don't know Yahshua.
Oh, yeah.
You know Jesus. But you don't know Yahshua. And Yahshua is standing in the gap for you right now.
That's right.
Absolutely.
But you don't know that because nobody taught you that.
Absolutely. That's right, Elder.
Somebody been teaching you something that's out of order. And with the stiff neck and the rebelliousness of your heart, you holding on to that. That's an idol. That's idolatry.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Absolutely.
When you bend down before that statue of Mary, that's idolatry.
That's idolatry.
Absolutely. Right.
You don't think so?
Mother
The Father say a carved image. Is that, or is that not a carved image?
Absolutely. Of something that was here on earth.
Huh?
Of something that was here on earth.
Right. Has nothing to do with the Father whatsoever.
Absolutely.
That's why the children of Israel never had symbols. They had nothing like that.
Absolutely. Never had symbols. That's right.
Nothing.
You know, they had no images
Right.
that was related to Israel. They could identify Israel by a certain image.
That's right. Especially not the Father himself.
That's right.
Names of the day of the week. You know, the Father didn't give us names of the day of the week.
No, because those names are of idols.
Right. Exactly.
That's right.
What we have here. You know, the names of the day of the week are strictly referred to as with numbers.
That's right.
You know, day one, you know, so etc.
So you got to understand where idols came from, and you got to know that the idols that people worship to this day are from the different mutations that came from the intermingling of the fallen ones,
All
of
the
the fallen angels,
other cultures.
right? And man, when divine being or what they call angel mixed with man or flesh or woman, they produced. How would I say it? They produced these different beings, monsters, so to speak, and different beings, half goat, half man, half animal, half man. As time progressed, people used to worship these different beings. And as time progressed, these beings turned into different symbols, right, and symbols of worship that people bowed down to because of the powers that these different beings possessed. So you got to understand, idolatry, coming from that standpoint, is even in the homes today.
Yeah.
But under another an assumed name, but still dealing with the same being from antiquity.
Yeah.
So basically, I just pointed out the origins of different idols.
Yeah.
So in the last segment, we were dealing with, we were in Genesis, and we dealt a lot about the region, Africa. And we pointed out some different countries that were established. And one that I want to deal with is Cush, or Ethiopia. Idolatry on this side of the flood started in Africa. Or started in that region.
Everything.
Okay? You have the education or the emergence of knowledge even according to history, comes from that region. You hear people throw around the term fathers of civilization. Okay? I understand where they're coming from. But you have to understand fully that some of the people that were in that region were straight and strict idolaters. Therefore, when you claim things that are black or African, and you deal with a fertility goddess, and because it's black or it's from Africa, you don't understand. You got this thing sitting up in your house. You dealing with idolatry, but you dealing with it for the wrong reasons, because you believe it's from a black ancestry. But you don't. What you got to understand.
Culture.
Right, a black culture, so to speak. But you got to understand that the first folk to deal with that thing were black people. You can't hide that. And you got to point it out. So you clinging on to something just because of the image. Right, and it looks black, or it is black. The first man to sin was black. I mean, so need I, speak any further on that? Pure and simple, idolatry is an abomination in the sight of the Father. Your thing is to find out where this idolatry fits into your life and how it sneaks into your life, because nowadays it's not really an open thing.
Right,
No.
it's not
a thing,
overt, it's covert.
Right, it's a thing of mystery.
Exactly.
And one of the mysteries that we're going to point out is this thing dealing with Jesus. That's one of the biggest idols being pushed today. If you don't understand that Jesus is a son idol, you need to be educated on that. When you call on the name of Jesus, you got to understand you are calling down something that you really don't want on your head. You are calling down some forces that ain't got nothing to do with the Most High. Whatsoever.
Don't worship Zeus.
That's true.
And that's exactly who you're dealing with. Jesus is directly connected to Zeus.
Zeus, son of Zeus.
That's right. So these are things that's in our homes, that's in our vocabulary, that we teach our children, that we were taught when we were children, that has to be purged and destroyed in order for you to live in accordance with the Father's word. You got to. And this is not something that you can take lightly. I mean, as I pointed out at the beginning of the show, they're talking about the American Idol, this show where, young people sit up and they perform and they show their talent. There's nothing wrong with singing, showing your talent. I'm talking about the name of the show and the image that they have to project, in which they are influencing other young people and people really of all ages. But the name idol, I mean, don't America got enough idols? You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, if you're dealing with a sports star, whatever individual that's in the limelight or that's in society's eye as being higher up, and people idolize these individuals, that's wrong. You don't idolize no human being.
No.
So what I'm saying is that word idol is out of order, as Elder would say. It's out of order. It's not right. You're not supposed to even deal with idols in the simplest form.
No, you're not.
So basically, that's what we're trying to point out. The things in antiquity that were full-blown just idolatry, and there are some subtle idolatries that we need to deal with too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again too, Kazakiel, you made a very good point when you said earlier, you were talking about how often we loosely use that term.
That's right.
Oh, that's my idol. I want to be like him.
That's right.
It's my favorite ball player. It's
Teen
my
idol.
idol. That's
Yeah.
my idol. I believe that when we start talking about role models, we're talking about the same thing. You know, he's a perfect role model. The only role model that I have is Yeshua.
That's right.
That is my
That's
role
it.
model.
That's right.
He's the only one I'll ever have as a role model. That's who I want to be like.
Right.
Flesh is weak.
So, you know, absolutely. And we often use terms that we really don't understand, and we use them loosely, but yet we take them, we don't understand the impact that we're making. So we're ignorant to the fact that this is something that's serious.
That's right.
And we're in trouble, and we don't know it.
That's right.
That's why it is imperative that we understand Yah's laws, so that we will always be in the light about what we're doing and when we're doing it.
That's right.
You see, so you know, again, you know, just looking at what you were saying, you know, we use a lot of these terms loosely, and we have no idea what we're doing.
That's right.
Again, there's so many places I want to go, but turn to Ezekiel, the 8th chapter.
Yeah.
Ezekiel 8.
Yes.
Right
That's
there.
a good one.
Right there.
Listen to this, starting at verse 1. And it came to pass in the 6th year, in the 6th month, on the 5th day of the month, as I sat in my house with the elders of Yehuda, sitting before me, that the hand of Yahweh Elohim fell upon me there. Then I looked, and there was a likeness like the appearance of fire. From the appearance of his waist and downward, fire. And from his waist and upward, like the appearance of brightness, like the color of amber. He stretched out the form of a hand and took me by a lock of my hair. And the Spirit lifted me up between earth and heaven, and brought me in vision of Elohim to Jerusalem, and to the door of the north gate of the inner court, where the seat of the image of jealousy was. The image of jealousy. That means they done set up something in the Father's place.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Which provoked to jealousy. And behold, the glory of Elohim of Israel was there, like the vision that I saw in the plain. Then he said to me, Son of man, lift your eyes now toward the north. So I lifted my eyes toward the north, and there, north of the altar, was the image of jealousy in the entrance. Furthermore, he said to me, Son of man, do you see what they are doing? The great abomination that the house of Israel commits here to make me go far away from my sanctuary. Now turn again, you will see greater abominations. So he brought me to the door of the court. And when I looked, there was a hole in the wall. There, then he said to me, Son of man, dig into the wall. And when I dug into the wall, there was a door. And he said to me, Go in and see the wicked abominations which they are doing there. So I went in and saw there every sort of creeping thing, abominable beast, and all idols of the house of Israel, portrayed all around the walls. Remember them cave paintings? Huh? And there stood before them 70 men of the elders of the house of Israel. And in their midst stood Jezaniah, the son of Shaphan. Each man had a censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up. Then he said to me, Son of man, have you seen what the elders of the house of Israel in the dark, every man in the room of his idol? For they say, Yahweh does not see us. Yahweh has forsaken the land. And he said to me, turn again, and you will see greater abominations than they are doing. So he brought me to the door of the north gate of Yahweh's house. And to my dismay, women were sitting there weeping for Tammuz.
Right there. Right now. What people, I didn't mean to cut you
That's
off,
all right, go ahead.
I'm going to let you finish reading.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't understand Tammuz is still Jesus.
That's
today.
right. That's right.
Women sit in the church crying in the name of Jesus.
That's right.
To
For
this
Tammuz.
Day. For Tammuz. Same thing.
That's right. Then he said to me, have you seen this, O son of man? Turn again, you will see greater abominations than these. So he brought me into the inner court of Yahweh's house. And there, at the door of the temple of Yahweh's, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men with their backs toward the temple of Yahweh and their face toward the east. And they were worshiping the sun toward the east.
Still again. Elder, still again. Jesus, as I mentioned earlier, is a sun god.
Yes.
Still worshiping Jesus.
Yes.
And these different idols are interchangeable.
Yes.
Because that's part of the mysteries of iniquity.
Yes.
Go ahead, Elder.
Yes.
I mean,
and he said to me, have you seen this, O son of man? It is a trifle thing to the house of Israel. Trifle, do you understand? Don't mean nothing to the house of Israel. The house of Israel today, it does not mean anything. It's light to them. They don't understand idolatry. Listen to this. It says, it's a trifle thing to the house of Yehuda to commit the abominations which they are committing here. For they have filled the land with violence. They have returned to provoke me to anger. Indeed, they put the branch to their nose. Therefore, I also will act in fury. My eyes will not spare, nor will I pity. And through the cry in my ears, with a loud voice, I will not hear them.
Okay.
Do you understand?
That's right.
Huh?
I will not hear them.
Hey, the Father not hearing you today because you're not crying to him, and even if you was with your abomination,
that's right.
he will not hear.
Right. That's right. That's why you hear them, they talk about he may not come when you want him, but he's right on time.
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
But Elder, here's the thing. You cannot convince people, many of us, of these things because they know for a fact that they're constantly being blessed.
Yeah, but by who?
That's right.
Who blessing them?
That's right.
So that's where we want to talk about, or we might bring in another thing that's called blessings, which Kazakiel brought about, talked about as being part of the topic. We know that Yah is not the only one, or the Father is not the only one in the quote-unquote blessing business.
That's right.
We know that.
Yeah.
Because there's someone else that hangs around. There's someone else that's really in charge here.
That's right.
There's really someone else in charge down here. And if he's in charge down here, that means he owns a lot down here. He possesses a lot of things down here. And if he possesses a lot of things down here, he's very much into the quote-unquote the blessing business.
Yes, he is.
Or what you think is a blessing for you. So because you're getting what you want to get, when you, quote unquote, make your prayer, because you get it, you think the Father's always sending it, you're sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
Don't ever think that the Father is the only one that's into the business or into the line of business of giving you what you want.
That's right.
Because he is not the only one. Now, your task, viewing audience, your task is to find out, to understand, when does the Father bless you and give? And when does the other person give? Do you know the difference? Can you tell the difference? I submit to everyone that most of us don't know the difference. All we know is that we're the recipient of something that we ask for or that we want. But every time you talk about what you want, every time you let it be known what you want, every time you say it aloud, every time you write it down, every time you make it known what you want, the other guy knows too.
Yeah.
Don't think he don't know what you want, and don't think he won't give it to you, and don't think he's not doing it every day out here.
That's right. That's
Turn,
right.
turn to Matthew quickly.
Right, we're going to keep in mind we only got a few minutes. Got about 2 minutes.
Well, we'll go into the next section with that then.
Okay.
Well, let's turn to Isaiah 66.
Now we have exactly 1 minute.
Isaiah
Yeah,
66,
yeah.
briefly.
Verse 15.
Right at
Verse
15, 16.
Yeah, verse 16. For by fire and by sword Yahweh will judge all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. Those who sanctify themselves and purify themselves to go to the gardens after an idol in the midst, eating swine's flesh and the abomination and the mouth shall be consumed together, says Yahweh.
That's right.
I just wanted to add that. All you barbecuers.
In the gardens, in the parks.
Yeah.
Huh?